We've talked a lot, haven't we, over the last few months about this clause in Lionel Messi's contract that means he could leave for free at the end of the season. Well, Sam Marsden and Moise Laurent have been writing about it over on the website. That apparently, according to sources, has expired. Let's welcome in Sid Lowe, shall we, to discuss this. Is that true, Sid? That's it? It's done? He can't leave for free, even though he probably wasn't going to?
Well, that's the thing, is it? Is this thing that probably wasn't going to happen now not going to happen? Well, yes, this thing that probably wasn't going to happen is now not going to happen. I must admit, this has passed me by insofar as we knew that this was the date. We knew that it was the 1st of June. But luckily, Sam and Moy were on the case. And actually, Gab Marcotti was this morning. He said to me on the podcast, oh, so Messi's now not able to go. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So, yes, it's gone. The problem is resolved, at least for another year. I suppose we'll have these discussions again as next year kind of looms into view. But for the time being, at least it's all resolved. And I guess it was inevitable that it would be, if only because focus is elsewhere at the moment.
However, Lionel Messi will definitely return to action for Barcelona. We know now the first game away against Mallorca. Now, for people maybe who are new to Spain or La Liga overall, they'll look at the kickoff time and think 10 p.m. at night. That's ridiculous. That wouldn't really happen any other place in the world in any other sport. But I imagine in Spain, no one's even raising an eyebrow.
No, it's not problematic at all. Now, partly because 10 p.m. at night is not that late, particularly in the summer. You know, culturally, it's not so late. Secondly, because a big part in the decision making at this time of the year. I mean, in the back end of the season, normally you get the last 2 or 3 weeks of games looking very carefully at temperature in terms of kickoff time. The first few games of the season, which are in August, the same thing happens. They're played as late as possible to try and avoid the heat of the day. So you'll notice that the earlier games tend to be the ones that are played in the north of the country where it's cooler. And then the other part of this, of course, is that the one problem, or the one really significant problem at least, with late kickoff times is people going to games. So if you're going to a game at 10 o'clock at night, particularly if it's in the winter, it's different, of course, if it's in the summer. It's not just that the game finishes just before midnight, so you've got to get home. Maybe children have got to go to school the next day. But of course, nobody is going to these games. So that part of this problem is removed. So in that sense, yeah, you can set a game at 10 o'clock. And it is true that people look at it and think, that's quite late. But it's not a big deal for anyone. And I can't stress this enough. 10 o'clock for a kickoff time is prime time on TV. This isn't late. This isn't people going, oh, not sure if I'm going to stay up for this. This is people having their dinner and watching the game at the same time.
Short and sweet for you today, Sid. Thank you very much for your time. Just a reminder, these are how things stand as La Liga set to return on June the 11th. Barca 2 points clear at the top of the table. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.